My name is Herman Semeski, and I'll be the moderator today. I've been a lifelong technologist. Grew up as a little kid playing video games, and as my first job, I went to work at Amazon and as an engineer, and later at Google. And so I've been in the tech industry my whole career. But then something really funny happened in 2020. So I want to know if something happened to anybody else in 2020, right? If you think 2020 was the worst year, go ahead and put a 0 in the chat. If you think 2020 was like the best year ever and you wish every year could be 2020, go ahead and put a 10 in the chat. If you feel like 2020 was somewhere in between, give it a 5, any number from 0 to 10. And I'll look at the chat and see what we've got. Okay, I see ones, right? I see very low numbers. Generally, it looks like people were not the biggest fan of 2020. I think most people know that's the year that the COVID pandemic happened. But for me personally, 2020 was actually a 10. It was the best year of my life. And the reason is, in early 2020, January and February, I looked at the COVID pandemic situation as it unfolded. And I started thinking about what I could do during this situation to, really improve my life. And I made a list of all of the regions that seemed to be handling the pandemic rather well. So finally, in March of 2020, I decided to move to Taipei. At the time, I didn't know much about it. I just knew it was kind of in Asia Pacific, and it seemed to be doing well with the COVID situation. But when I got here, I was amazed at all of the smart solutions that were integrated into the society and into the businesses, and how much everything was just booming. And that really surprised me, being somebody who had been a technologist my whole life. How had I not known about all of these smart solutions in Asia Pacific? And I think that's the situation that a lot of people might find themselves in. And that's why it's my great pleasure today to introduce so many smart solutions to you. So our first speaker will be Mr. James Chiao. Mr. James Chiao is representing Smart Cities Consulting, and he has a lifetime of experience going into businesses and helping them integrate smart solutions to further their business.
Good afternoon and good morning. It's my great pleasure to be here to share with you smart solutions for better business and how to re-image our business in post-pandemic. After 2.5 years into the century's pandemic, we have all settled into what can only be called an uncomfortable uncertainty. While this is being experienced by all of us in a very personal level, it also holds true for our institutions, including our cities and businesses. What are business and city leaders to do? It turns out that there are, in fact, choices about the way forward. Pandemic is a portal. It's a gateway between one world and the next. How we react to the new and emerging reality is the most important choice we can make. When all seems out of control, we may not be able to determine the future, but we can impact how we prepare for it. It's clear that we all have to move beyond quick fix. Short-term remedies must now translate into long-term solutions. This requires different mindset, new approaches, and a new team to implement them. So what happened beyond the reset? Business and city leaders essentially have two choices: resume to go back or reboot. The reality check is proving that there is no going back. To choose the resume path is to invite new suffering. We are all at inflection point where we have the opportunity to reboot, to refresh, to re-image. The focus is on improving livability. The coronavirus crisis has become a profound global test. Whether smart solution technology may prove to be able to mitigate the worst impact of the COVID-19 outbreak. Business or cities we would consider to be smarter are much more likely to have a preparedness plan, a resilient plan, or an established crisis operating center, one that is connected to a number of critical live data sources like sensors and cameras. Forbes magazine analysis indicate that coronavirus impact on the contactless economy model will accelerate the digital transformation of enterprises and will introduce technologies such as remote and unmanned operations and virtual reality integration. According to Forrest Sullivan, where it is important to focus on economic return on investment in building smart solutions by developing a highly skilled workforce. It is equally important to deliver tangible solutions to the citizens. So the smart application development process is pretty simple. We need to collect the data, to analyze the data, to communicate among stakeholders, and to take proper actions. Though the smart diagnostic exchange platform is the essential core that we collect data from monitors, from IoT data, from the third-party API information sources, and from existing databases, and we can store all the data and to have digital evidence management, to analyze the image, the data, the sensor, and to create a situation dashboard and provide the data communicated with the field data, control center, and management. So smart city has a nerve system, like we just said, that comprises a brain, the control center, and the nerves, the network, and sensors gathering real-time information about the status of the business, its environment, asset, and performance. For example, sensors can provide data on the freight logistics system performance, enabling the brain to manage congestion, smooth demand, and safely reduce delays for business and citizens. So digitally connected ecosystems that have transformed the way business function, improving connectivity between people and things to generate innovation, economic growth, and social progress. Now, purely purchasing hardware can no longer meet emerging needs. Unlikely the business model of traditional technology product that buys and sell hardware equipment, business and city increasingly need solutions to help solving the problem they are facing. So Taiwan has a solid IoT foundation, can provide a range of key components, have excellent engineers, and has the ability to innovate and develop all kinds of intelligent applications. For smart chip, sensors, and servers with AI and big data analysis, to building customized smart solutions. Using Taiwan Smart Solution, or TSS, as the core of the brand powered by TSS, to partner with IoT suppliers and solution providers from Taiwan, and local partners with local knowledge from cities and business around the world, to promote substantial international cooperation. We help our international partners with smart, secure, green, and resilient localized solutions. Digital transformation is actually the reimaging of business in the digital age. It is all about adding value to the end users. What is digitalization? Digitization is a process whereby business move from analog or paper system to digital system. And what is digitalization? It's all about efficiency. Business use digitized information to establish better ways of working and making everything efficient and simple, reduce the cost and more profit. Finally, what we're talking about digital transformation, which has created entirely new classes of business and change the way we do business. Companies are using digital transformation to deliver better customer experiences, better decision-making, improve their efficiency, and create more personalized solutions to every need that their customer may have. To do that, a project management office or PMO to be established to facilitate public-private partnership, to manage the data exchange platform, and to plan, test, manage the task fields. A customized stakeholder participation plan needs to be developed to facilitate effective communication of the action plan among stakeholders. So they will establish smart business vision to plan, coordinate, and manage smart applications. The committee members work with PMO staff to facilitate public-private partnership and with open data to do public-private collaboration. And to plan testing, manage the smart solutions they have. So we need to talk about what AI and machine vision can do for us then. Real-time connection of CCTV monitors combined with artificial intelligence or AI and machine vision can see events that were originally invisible to humans, improve insight, and detect patterns and behaviors that humans may miss. This new insight takes the initiative to prevent accidents. You can also use historical data to predict what parts or equipment might fail, and you can achieve predictive maintenance. These devices provide a useful way to collect, monitor, and analyze information that help protect public safety, ensure product quality, prevent and detect product defects before it ever happens. So application or traffic enforcement and management are very good example what AI and machine vision can do for us. Real-time vehicle detection. We can detect type, what kind of cars, buses, truck, motorcycle, and bicycles, and make and model and color of the vehicle. And we can do real-time license plate recognition. We can do smart enforcement, the detection of red light crossing, for example, or illegal turns. And we can also do detection of illegal parking to improve safety and congestion on the street. So let's move our mobility smart with mobility as a service and smart parking. So the smart parking solution is an AI plus machine vision we can do parking zone ticketing much easier than ever before. And you can see that AI and machine are using license plate recognition and technology enforcement in Taiwan for many years already, which provide real-time count of pedestrian, motorcycles, bicycles, cars, and buses, trucks that city planner and traffic engineer imagine you need the data can do a lot of city and traffic management and policy and programs. So let's introduce integration of smart street lights and smart traffic signals. Smart LED street lights application IoT plus AI technology equipped with sensors, gateways, edge computing, and networks connect all cities. As you can see that with LED lamp control, with camera, internet speaker, with environmental sensor, CCTV, a virtual display screen, and public Wi-Fi provided, we can emerging code solutions dealing with motion detections. And so let's make our streetlight smart, easily to control lighting area by using different lens. Glass optical lens anti-shake without ghosting is about 95% of the lighting utilization. Is waterproof, high IP grade of 68, very high, high light efficiency and temperature and high pressure resistance, a high thermal connectivity and low failure rate. So we can see that on the left-hand side, the best light distribution with chip on board or COB LED. You can see the light is just like that daylight. And the traditional light distribution of traditional LED with multiple point discipline, you can see still have a black spot. So we can compare with the high efficiency chip on board LED image saving compared with a non-LED 250 watts or regular LED 100 watts. The chip on board LED needs only 60 watts, can save a lot of energy. This is what an illustration of integration of smart street lights and smart traffic signals. The traffic light, a smart street light will only with 100% brightness when a car going by. Of course, we can put all the control in your handheld devices, iPad or cell phone. We can single light or group light, instant on or off, or can dim control network to cloud monitor system. In New Taipei City smart policing program, using technology enforcement to handle criminal cases and improve the efficiency of case solving. Of course, smart health has been very popular and advanced in Taiwan. So let's make our citizen health with smart health. We can have the telemed health. We can have the smart long distance care, emergency care, and we have the smart clinics, smart wards, smart pharmacy, smart surgery, smart medical exam, and we have the smart diagnosis with a smart logistics, smart medical robot, and also we can use AR and VR for medical training, health training. For example, how we can make our citizen healthy with smart health. Here is a digital revolution of hospital medicine based on the electronic board, the patient-centered indoor navigation services in the medical institution. And we can have the AI smart pharmaceuticals app for very convenient application. And we have a medical image analysis system for artificial intelligence, and we have the medical robot. So in the past 2 years, when the number of infection increases of COVID-19 in Taiwan, the hospital gradually start to use a video connect, very simple application. So let's talk about how can we make our government more efficient with smart governors. We can use smart data GIS or geographic information system platform for efficient data integration and sharing among government agencies on one single platform or mobile devices. So we can use the smart data GIS platform to collect, to share, to collaborate, to apply, to realize, and to update, synchronize all the data. And we can quickly customize. We can quickly set up a cost saving, and across different platforms, different agencies, different applications, we can use the data, put it together so we can allow the government employee or any private user to achieve a lot of data analysis never can be done before. Here is another example of government more efficient with smart governors. The Taipei 3D road pipeline and information center, it put all the underground pipelines, utility, gas, water, telephone together to improve the efficiency of the digging of the street and prevent accident of digging different utility piping. So next, let's protect our community with smart disaster prevention and smart emergency management. So here is a disaster prevention of slow land and riverbank. You can see the CCTV monitoring, the sediment transportation with the CCTV, and we can have the range gauge or rainfall threshold value. So with all the site devices, we can record the floods when they start, and the inquiry for the flood survey, we can have all the recording of real-time raining and flooding level change, and we can make the decision making based on flooding and aerial data, and then we can send out real-time viewing with the app on what happened to the flooding to save a lot of lives. So this is what the flood modeling, we can show that as long as we have strategically put our devices, sensors, and to measure the soil moisture with this very advanced modeling, we can tell exactly when and where the bridges or the city land will be, or streets will be under flood, so we can send out a warning to save a lot of lives. So now let's talk about how to prevent traffic accident from happening with integrated incident management system. We can see that this has been using in New York area more than 25 years ago with the traffic management center, emergency management, police, public works, fire, EMS, and public transportation, and auto center going through this IIMS or integrated incident management system cloud to transform the data to police department, highway control, to the Department of Transportation emergency response vehicles. So this we can provide interagency data communication to predict, prevent, and improve incident response. We can share a view of the incident among responders and managers with upper level management, operation center staff, and first responders, second responders, and maintenance facility staff to improve much better of the way we handle traffic incidents. So now with the drone help, the center confirmed the traffic accident and assigned the drone to search for evidence. And the UAV conduct the smart evidence search according to standard evidence search procedure, and the data transmit back to center to complete the 3D model of the accident scene that can then providing data to the insurance claim for identification information and provide all the data to traffic accident identification. And we can resolve the highway accident much more efficient and save lives. Now let's make our kids smart with smart education. We have a smart education digital content platform for reading, learning, maker, e-portfolio, and social programs. So with a roaming smart space application in using smart campus, smart buildings, people can be able to observe and manage the lights, temperature, space, equipment, and security. To improve the efficiency of space usage, to improve space service quality, to reduce space operating costs, and to reduce energy consumption. And we have been under the planning design in our Taiwan Smart Experience Center under the Central European Smart Energy Living Lab in Slovak. Next, let's talk about improve our food production with smart agriculture. Here's an example of smart farming information center. We can provide advisory services, micro weather monitoring, growing environmental control, and linking with remote observation, Okay, and cooperate with the crop cultivation process, guidance on various farming methods. So this example, what I've been using in Taiwan, the field crop microenvironment sensing disease early warning system on the onion field applications. You can see that all the information through the cloud computing and the system device in the field, we can send all the information to the farmer's handheld cell phone with all the information. This is an example of plant protection drone intelligent pest spreading system. And there's a intelligent multi-supervision platform to provide cross-field agriculture decision-making suggestions. So you can have the biosensing in different fields to create common platform for intelligent biosensing data integration and to provide real-time monitoring and early warning notification. Here is a structural diagram for expert decision-making system for high-quality rice production in Taiwan, and integrating with manufacturing and marketing management. You can see that this is a plant production and going to save traceability of the processing and to help the sales with business analysis and to production forecast. So there are much more Taiwan smart solutions with smart retail, smart water metering, smart building, smart energy, smart environment, and AI solutions for business and more ready to help work with our international partners. So here's a new win-win international business model. Take Taiwan Smart Solution as a core. The role of World Factory from Taiwan. And we need to do localization to work with software engineers from qualified local partners to modify Taiwan Smart Solution to comply with local safety, communication, and privacy regulations. Modify user interface and functions to meet with local user needs and to deliver localized smart solutions that never can be done before. To implement local sales and operation with cloud assistance. So there's a Taiwan core partner outfit. We can achieve sustainable operation with relatively low risk and low cost. So we are using globalization of Taiwan Smart Solution using an innovative expert system to provide efficient real-time remote global expert support, training, and resource sharing by first-person perspective. With superior video quality and smart bandwidth footprint, we can fully apply digital twin solution to engage Taiwan experts virtually in a working environment in faraway cities with foreign team members in real time. So this globalization or smart solution can provide remote guidance, reduce costs and increase efficiency. To do remote diagnosis, we can do personnel skill training. Of course, we can achieve global globalization, enhance competitiveness with smart after sales. So while we can do this with our mobile display, large screen client display, PC web display, with AR digital twin glasses. So we define this as a reality, virtual reality. It's a metaverse environment linking two real worlds. So we can send staff to a faraway workplace without traveling to achieve smart solution implementation. So let's work together to using smart diagnostics bridge smart business with IoE solutions to secure better future. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can send your request to info@tss-association.org. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, James. Now, our next speaker, Ms. Joni Kuo from Soft Foundry International, has an absolutely amazing product. So everyone saw how Zoom transformed the landscape during COVID, how it would allow people at a distance to connect with one another. Well, Mrs. Kuo's Face Pro solution takes Zoom to the next level, allowing people to see what their business partners, what their customers, what their experts are seeing, and facilitate truly next level technological communication. So, Ms. Joni Kuo.
Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to share Face Pro Remote Expert Solution Smart Service for sustainable development. We know COVID-19 global pandemic has brought new challenges to our society. The challenge we are facing today, how our solution align with your business need, the benefits of the solution, and some successful case studies. First of all, as for system green service, we have application cases in automobile industry, small manufacturing, maritime, new energy, agriculture, petrochemical, telemedicine, aerospace, smart construction, and smart. Owing to COVID-19 situation, there are 4 main challenges encountered by most of enterprise: global competition, high traveling cost and time-consuming, expert shortage, and the cost unplanned downtime losses. Here is a flexible remote expert solution aligned with your business need. Integrate with 5G, AI, AR, big data, and the cloud computing technologies. We deliver remote expert guidance, digital workflow, 4K Ultra HD video guidance, visualization of industrial IoT data, and build your knowledge base. This is Best Pro Expert System app. It's a cross-platform solution with Windows, Android, iOS, and AR glasses. You can download the app from Google Play and App Store. Okay. Best Pro is an innovative application, provide efficient real-time remote global expert support, training, and risk sharing via first-person perspective up to 4K. It improves work efficiency and simplify the work process for up to 70%. Best Pro support 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi, TV space, and satellite communication. It connects up to 300 participants in a meeting with 14 language support. Best Pro is a secure communication with AES 256 CCV encryption. Here is the industrial application via hardware integration. The AR smart glasses uses N400, N4000. It support IP67 2 meters anti-drop. It's a very lightweight, comfortable to wear, and see-through. We support the USB endoscope, the infrared camera, AIoT camera, and integrate with drone service. Here's the benefits digital workflow. It could be more insight into business process, streamline the repeatable task, improve the quality of your product service, increase the employee productivity, save costs, and improve the profitability. Here's the Best Pro with the video signature. It's transparency, visibility, and traceability. So during the Best Pro meeting, you can sign up your agreement, contract with your partners, and return the image of the signing process. So it is very good for the smart medical, smart business, and the financial insurance. Benefits of the solution. So where is Best Pro? You know, we offer different from our competitors, like a competitor Z, competitor T. We support 4K Ultra HD video communication configuration. We use lower bandwidth consumption. We support remote control and AR annotation, digital flow, inspection, and the software customization. Here's the success story, okay? The first one is Costco. Costco Smart Ship Inspection. Costco is the largest shipping company in Asia. They deploy Best Pro Expert system for ship inspection, remote maintenance, shipbuilding, repairing, training, and the remote supervision. So during the COVID-19 pandemic, Best Pro delivered the remote inspection of more than 600 international merchant ships in Asia in 2021, which is expected to save about 25 million in fuel costs and 3 million in traveling expense. This is the case of SK Innovation. SK RCS remote collaboration system for global manufacturing site. The background is, okay, there's a need for expansion of global site. So there are numbers of manufacturing trouble increase in each of production line. So they increase the job in efficiency due to the continued COVID-19. So the customer needs is first, global operation, expert distribute in the America, Europe, and China. Occasional business trip required for regular monitoring, supervision, troubleshooting of overseas plans. So they need a real-time problem solving, need to strengthen self-solving capacity for emerging needs, and they require global remote support by skilled personnel. So the on-site sharing by deploying first floor for RCS system to communicate the situation in the field from various angles. So the benefit is increase the productivity and decrease the operating cost. Here's another case from Hyundai ENC. It's a smart construction. Yeah, Hyundai ENC is taking the lead in smart construction, deploying first floor express system and the AR smart glasses and the TV white space technology at the railway tunnel construction in South Korea. So with the smart solution in place, they are able to identify risk factors before excavation, such the efficient work decisions and the safety inspection and collaboration can be conducted. Okay, I will share with you the video news from Hyundai ENC.
현대건설이 국내 건설사 최초로 터널 공사에 스마트 건설 기술을
Korean
도입하면서
language.
건설 현장
You
혁신에
can see the
앞장서고
English
있습니다.
subtitle in the bottom.
현대건설은 지난 7월 별내선 복선전철 309 건설공사 현장에서 TV 유휴대역을 활용한 무선통신망과 스마트 글래스 기술을 실증했습니다. 현대건설이 시범 적용한 무선통신망 기술은 공사 중인 지하터널 내부에서 외부와 연락이 수월하지 못한 점을 보완하기 위해 도입된 건데요. 터널 내부에 와이파이 무선 인터넷을 가능하게 한 기술이죠. 또한 현대건설은 이 무선 통신을 기반으로 스마트 글래스를 시연했습니다. 이는 현장 근무자가 지상 근무자나 본사 관계자와 실시간으로 모니터링하고 화상회의를 진행할 수 있는 기술인데요. 굴착 전 검토해야 하는 요소들을 미리 파악할 수 있고 보다 신속한 업무 결정과 안전점검 등이 가능할 것으로 기대됩니다. 현대건설의 스마트 건설 기술은 앞으로 국내외 현장에 확대 도입해 현장 시설물 점검과 안전점검 등 다양한 분야에 활용될 예정입니다. 현대건설이 국내 건설사 최초로 터널 공사에 스마트 건설 기술을 도입하면서 건설 현장 혁신에 앞장서고 있습니다.
Okay, here's another case for Porsche. Porsche remote technique support. Yeah, Porsche China launched their new remote technique support system, RTS, using first floor express system. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the RTS has supported significant cost reduction in traveling expense by 70%, and the maintenance efficiency increased by 75%. To Porsche China's after-sales service division and their various Porsche dealer. I also show the video. It's in Chinese, but you also can read the subtitle English on the bottom.
仿 C 中国远程技术支持项目旨在建立一个基于智能眼镜、扩展设备和高效的数字化远程音视频系统，在此基础上为经销商、技师和仿 C 中国技术专家提供一个精准、高效、安全的技术沟通平台。我们还将持续开发更多的辅助诊断工具来配合智能眼镜的使用，以此拓展智能眼镜在实际工作中的应用场景，充分体现这一新技术给我们带来的优势。
RTS 系统为我们的售后服务带来了一种全新的可能。通过优化现有的现场技术支持流程 ，RTS 系统可以大幅地缩短客户的等待时间，为我们提升客户满意度提供了更大的信心。
In today's automotive service world, the demand for effective communication and minimal customer waiting time has reached a complete new level. This is why the Porsche China After Sales team has decided to develop a complete innovative new approach, the Remote Technical Support Program.
RTS 远程技术支持
RTS 远程技术支持 Porsche China Remote Technical Support
Porsche China Remote Technical Support
未见先行，
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 未见先
Okay, here is a customer testimonial from ABB. Yeah, since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, the remote technical support was the solution of our service business to address the crisis. And the First Pro is our choice for the Chinese market. This is from Paul, CEO of Vuzix. First Pro is a robust solution that can address numerous customer vertical needs and bring the productivity improvement with users. Here's our client list. Thank you.
Again, I think the companies who were able to use Zoom really succeeded during the pandemic. And I think during the next pandemic, those companies that can utilize FacePro will really be able to survive and thrive. And those that aren't on board with FacePro just won't be here any much longer. Now, our next speaker is Professor Mike Tsai. If Zoom was kind of the dark horse of the pandemic, the product that nobody knew about, but we really needed, medical care was the product that was on the top of everyone's mind. They knew it was going to be a problem, and most countries, most hospitals, they weren't prepared. But that's only most hospitals. I think the Healthcare Systems Consortium set of hospitals that Mike is representing on behalf of his colleague, Xiaoran Wang, were really ready and maintained excellent healthcare through smart solutions during the pandemic. Here to tell us how is Mike Tsai.
Hi, good afternoon. Today I'm designated healer of Dr. Wang because he doesn't feel good today. So today I'm going to present the new innovation of healthcare in Taiwan. Let's talk about our organization. In fact, in Taiwan, it is rarely to see like hospitals and universities or research institution or enterprises collaborate all together. You know, in hospitals, they would like to use their favorite companies, and as a enterprise, most of the companies in Taiwan, they are either like small and medium enterprises, so they don't have the connection, they don't know how to get involved in hospital project. So in our organization, we try to help hospitals, academic, government agencies, research institutions, and enterprises. We want to provide a platform for them to exchange their information, the project, and also we can provide them, you know, some ideas of how to make collaboration together. So as you can see, there are more than 15,000 members in our organization or platform, and most of them are hospitals. Of course, there will be enterprises, research institutions, government, and some are from universities. How does our platform works? We were founded by government. We got their fundings, and those are our inputs. And we provide a platform for government, for hospitals, and for enterprises. Once they apply to our platform, we will try to help them match the demand and the supply. Okay, so usually the enterprises, when they have or develop new products, they don't know what exactly hospitals want. And when hospitals, they have their concerns, they don't know which companies they would like to reach. So in our platform, we play this kind of role, try to match the demand and supply, and we will have some outputs. For example, in our organization, we try to help them to do like resource optimization, to use like lean medical technologies and use some, so-called smart technologies to solve hospital problems. We also try to help enterprises. For example, if they have nice products, but they don't know which hospitals they can sell to, we can help them to do that. There's a video that I want to show you why Taiwanese healthcare system is so important right now, and it is one of the miracles around the world. Compared to foreign countries, we have limited budget because so-called national insurance. And compared to like other countries, these hospitals have to use limited resources to improve the patient safety, to help them to do better jobs. So here I want to introduce you some of the what we so-called smart solutions in our healthcare sector. For example, as you can see in this slide, this is a simulation model. What is this? This is a collaboration project from between a university and a hospital. We try to use some IoT techniques and to track patient flows. And we can use some simulation techniques to help the manager, the hospital manager, know what exactly resources they need to have right now and in the future, maybe 10 minutes later, 1 hour, or even 3 hours later. So in this kind of technology, we can help the hospital to utilize their resources. And we can help them to, for example, how many beds you need in 10 minutes, in 30 minutes, in 1 hour, how many words you need, and how many medical staff you will need, so that there will be no overcrowding problem. This is the first example that I want to share you. The second thing is about the surgical instrument tracking system. In the surgical room, when the patient need to do like a surgical thing, the medical staff has to prepare these instruments, and they have to count like how many surgical instruments they have before getting into the emergency room or other departments. So they have to count first, and after the surgery, they have to count again and again and again. So usually it's a time-consuming job and requires several medical staff to do this. And this technology or this system will use like so-called deep machine learning or deep learning technology to do it in advance. You don't have to use human resource to do that. Why is that? Because human resource may make mistakes. And if you use this tracking system to help them, you can reduce human labors to do the double count stuff. And this is very important because we want to avoid medical errors. We don't want to put instrument, leave the instrument inside your body. The third one, I bet you've seen this a lot. It's called smarter solutions in entire hospital, or you can call it smart hospital. We can implement different solutions. For example, nursing solution, outpatient solution, operating room solution. Usually in the world or in Taiwan, we apply one of the solutions or several of the solutions into the hospitals, because usually these are huge investment. But in the end, hospitals have to do changes. They have to adopt innovative technology because now their competitors is doing that. And other sectors, they're doing this. Although this costs a lot, but I believe it will be in the future that every hospitals have to do like this. But you may think it's a very expensive way to be smart. Let's use a easy example to say that we can adopt simple technology to save patients' life. For example, there's AED system. AED system is when there's a walker walking on the street and there's the heartbeat stop and there's emergency. Usually, when there's other people look at this patient, they may have to decide if they need to do some emergency service or something like that. And that's too late because the cardiac arrest, you have to do that. You have to save the patient in a very short time. Otherwise, they'll pass away. So we'll use a very simple technology to, adopt like IoT or other internet technology. So when the dispatcher center receives an emergency call, the dispatcher could activate the hearing AED system. Like they will have a mobile phone based app and alarmer. So the alarmer will ring and give the some signals and will send the message to like some people who is certified nearby, so that they won't miss the opportunity to save this patient. Okay, and of course, the responding time can be reduced and improve patient survival. So if you believe the above technology are high cost, very expensive, maybe you can start looking at some like smaller and cheap technology, but also can apply in healthcare. There are a lot of examples. There are a lot of technology product innovated and already released in Taiwan. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that look into the smart solutions powering Taiwan's healthcare system. I think because of the aging population and the reduced workforce, I think smart healthcare is going to become absolutely critical for most countries in the next few decades. Talking about reduced workforce, our next speaker, Mr. Bruce King, works with Goodlinker, and they do an amazing job using smart technology to improve manufacturing. And as we have a reduction in the workforce, being able to use smart technology to simplify your manufacturing is going to be absolutely essential. The same way that the first movers in the industrial age got to dominate the market and really leave their mark on the world and become market leaders. I think something similar is happening during the digital transformation, where the first movers, the people who are able to adopt smart technology in their manufacturing, will really get ahead of their competition. So here to tell us how to do that, Mr. Bruce King.
All right, thanks for the introduction. Yeah, and good afternoon, everyone. I am Bruce, and I'm happy to come here and share the use case and the success case that those small and medium enterprises, how they, with our solution, and embrace digital transformation. We had a lot of consulting experience to help like hundreds of traditional factories, helping them to digitize their production line. So that's why, and that is why I'm here, and I'd like to share with you guys. Hope something you can learn from it. When I talk to others that how do you think about the factories, the manufacturing industry, how do you think how the product being produced? Most of my friends, they told me that, oh, they imagine that the factory is pretty clean, everything is white. You can see a robot do it by itself, and there's a AGV, like a little car. It can deliver those products all around the factories. This is pretty much right. However, I think the reality is most of traditional factories are looking like this. The environment is not that advanced, and there do some dust floating in the air, and just everything done. Most of things are done by human being. So, give you numbers. We found that around the world, most of the small and medium enterprises are like more than 90%. And this, when I talked with lots of different factory owners, and they shared that there are like 3 reasons why they haven't embraced digitization. We found the first one is most of their things are written by hand, a handwriting report, which means most of the paperwork the workers have to do, and they just put the paper, put it in a box, and put it in the storage room. So it's pretty hard for them to do any data analysis. And the second reason is when they are doing like digitize their production line, and some people say that, oh, you have to buy the latest versions machine so that you can have portico, you can get the data from the RJ45 through the internet. However, they do have lots of different brands of machines still working, and it's working really good in their factory. So it won't happen that if I want to do this, I should buy the whole new machines. That's ridiculous. So there's the second reason that why they haven't done this. And the third reason is the most important. We found that if we want to do to embrace digitized production, to use this kind of solution, you must have people. Most of enterprises, they must need some IT talent. The guys are really good at to do the software engineering. However, this kind of talent nowadays, they tend to go to the blockchain company, go to fintech company, or maybe they will go to join semiconductor industry. There's no reason that they would like to stay in the industry in the traditional factories. So these are 3 reasons that we see in this in the situation. So we are trying to solve this problem because we'd like to, as you can see in the digital transformation pyramid, there's always a infrastructure. The foundation is digitization, which means you need to have data collection by sensor, by the machine. And what we are doing is try to support the 90% enterprises to reach digitization. Once you have the data, and second, you can use the data as put it in the BI, put it in the ERP system, put it in the MES system, or do any analysis you want. All these are based on you have data. So we have this kind of service that called a cloud SaaS service. It's an IoT platform that is a digital tool for the quantitative management. It do have some different features, like it's pretty cost effective, it's pretty simple. We won't put more pressure on the IT teams. Although you don't have any IT members, you still can use this kind of solution. And this is pretty safe. Our device is certificated by AWS. Also, with cloud solution, it's pretty eco-friendly. You don't have to build your own server room. You don't have to worry about have to turn on the AC to let the server cooling down. You don't want to worry about once the storage is just too full, I have to change the hard disk. No, with cloud solution, all the enterprises users have to do is just use the system. Think about with the data, what can I do to improve my business? So it's pretty simple. We provide this solution provide a real-time monitoring. Anyone can just pick up your phone or on the our web service. You can just look at the real-time data. You do have some history report you can download, and once something goes wrong in your production line, you will have a malfunction alert immediately. So yes, paperless is 724 recording. You just don't worry about these things. Handwriting is always correct now. And you will have a production time, but everything is transparency. How much we produce till now, everything are showing on the screen. And with the pandemic issue now, with remote monitoring, that reduce humans contact. And not only this, once you go, there's a user they shared with us that you want to use this kind of system because once they have the exhibition in Europe, and they can just show their factory is pretty under control with this kind of solution. Once just all he needs is just turn on the phone, open the app, and can show with their customers. And the last one is once you start to do the data collection, you also can download the Excel data, the raw data, for you to do any analysis you want. So how we make it? Because we already have cooperate with lots of different kind of industry, but I think most of people are not familiar with like CNC metal processing, like the plastic injury or any other industry. So I will use a food processing factory. This is a meatball factory as a case to introduce with you guys. So first thing we want to do is to do the data collection infrastructure. And that means we need to get the data from the machine with the sensor, and we do have someone to having to do the wiring construction. And once we finish this, just plug, and the second thing is just plug and play, connect the data with our IPC or little device. It's no code setting, and you can just use the cloud service. And so that means you might notice that, oh, the very third thing is we have to do the sensor thing. And who can do this? We are building an ecosystem that have better way to serve this kind of to serve small and medium enterprises. So this ecosystem is automation service. They are like the machine's family daughter. They can do the local construction and maintain partner. First thing, they are pretty professional at choosing the right brand and the sensors. Second is, as you can see in the second picture, in the middle one, this is a pretty the furniture is a pretty high industry. They are like foundry industry. So they want to make sure that all the wires are put in the tube or have to go with the trace. So they really can follow all the laws the local laws needs. And third one is the most important is with this ecosystem, once there's anything broken, need being fixed or changed, they can just get into the factory as soon as possible and help the users to fix the problem. So this is the architecture. So as you can see, this kind of partners, they can doing the virus, and they can have if you want to collect the environment data, you can put the air sensor. You want to know how's the electricity you use, you can just put a power meter. All they need to do is, this is what they are really good at. And now they can just connect with our IPC, then they can just we use with the cloud solution. So let's back to the use case. So now these users, they got data visualization and they can generate some insight and do some action. Take this for example. As you can see, there are some freezers in their factory. And from the graphic, we can see once they open the freezer, it takes around 2 hours and the cooling time. So maybe the owner can think about how can I do lower the open frequency or time? Maybe I should install the door curtain, or maybe I should change a better cooling system. These are really good actions, but the most important is because they have data now and they can do something from these, they can have some insight from this data. So now after years, they are using this kind of solution, and they do some analysis from the data. Now they shared with us that they saved a lot of cost, among 300,000 per year, because in the past they just waste too much the pork meat, pork, and just waste it. So the materials had reduced the waste rate by 62%. And the second is, of course, they just increased their OEE rate from 89 to 96%. So this is what every enterprise they focus on. We are always trying to reduce the cost and increase the efficiency. So till now, we already serve like more than 40 users around the world, not only in Taiwan, but also in the Southeast Asia. And we've proved that this solution can be used in different industries. Also, we also proved that manufacturing industry, they are willing to use cloud solution if you can really solve their problem in a really cost-effective way. I think 2022, the ESG issue is pretty hot nowadays. Everything we are talking about carbon inventory. The very first thing is always to know what's the your electricity usage. It's pretty simple. Every building, every factory, all places, they have their electric distribution border. So the local partner can help to install the smart meters and display, and they can display the data on a touch screen. And once this kind of data linked with our service, so the users, they can have it on the mobile app and the website. So this is the key takeaways about our today's presentation. Today I share that what we see about the small and medium enterprise, their pain points, and why they haven't, it's hard for them to reach digitization. And second is, I share that why cloud solution is good for these small and medium enterprises and helping them to meet the needs. And third one is, the third one is, I think the users, they are not only need a product, they need is a total solution with service, with all the things that they just want is one guy that can helping them to fix all the things. So if you are a channel you have lots of small and media enterprises customers, or you are system integrators. You are finding a very good product to for integrate for your customers, or you are industry expert or consultant. You know that what's the pain points in different industry. All you need, you just want a pretty good tool for you. Welcome to connect with me. Let's team up and provide values to small and medium enterprises together.
That concludes our Smart Solutions case study part of the webinar. Before we move to the Q&A, I just want to thank all of the speakers again today. I know smart solutions are hard to explain, harder to create, but absolutely vital for businesses to succeed in the 21st century. I also want to say thanks to Mig Moreno and the team at CACCI for helping run the webinar and keep everything running smoothly. I want to remind everyone that on November 28th and 29th, CACCI will be holding their 36th annual conference in Melbourne, Australia. Now, to jump into the Q&A, I'll quickly review all the speakers that we've had today. First, we had James Chiao from Smart Cities Consulting. I'm actually working with him, and if you need any help figuring out how to turn your business into a technologically advanced smart solutions business, please reach out to him. Also, feel free to ask questions on how to facilitate international cooperation. He's a specialist in that. Next, we had Ms. Joni Kuo. Her Face Pro solution is really taking things one step further than Zoom. It kind of reminds me of a Google product that existed a long time ago, but I think the way that she applies it to businesses far exceeds that old product. Next, we had Professor Mike Tsai, and he's doing the absolutely critical work of using smart solutions to help doctors save lives. If you have any healthcare questions at all, please speak up. Finally, we had Mr. Bruce King with GoodLinker, and he's helping enterprises collect data to enable digital transformation, really get them ready for the 21st century. So with that, I will scroll the Q&A for some questions. The first question here, is digitization to SMEs expensive?
I think it really depends on the individual cases situation. Depends on what kind of infrastructure you have, right? And what kind of digital environment you have already, and what do you want to achieve. I think every enterprise, I think Bruce demonstrated that you don't need to be ready to be advanced in the digital environment to get all the data, the benefit of the high-tech environment could have. Because like Bruce just demonstrated, we could use a very simple solution to get, the important thing is data. If you can get the data from the legacy equipment, from old equipment, from the analog equipment, not necessarily from the high-tech digital equipment, I think the Bruce, the solution is really good for lots of small business that they don't have budget for high-tech equipment. I think the answer really depends on where you are, so we can work with you to, if you are ready for a very expensive AI solution because you have the high-tech environment already, then you just jump ahead to the digital transformation into AI. But if you are not, then the Bruce solution can work for you step by step, and you can achieve AI as well, but you need to just get the data for your legacy and analog equipment. I think that really depends on where you are and to find a most appropriate solution. Most important thing is to get the data from your system. And so understand your performance and improve your efficiency and cut down the cost.
And yes, we do think this is what we are trying to helping these kind of small media enterprises with lower budget and with lower talents needs, the human being, and we are trying to helping these kind of factories, they can enable to reach digitization. This is what we are trying to. You don't need to build your own server room. You don't need to hire an IT team help you maintain the whole system. This is what we are trying to help letting this kind of land just use, and with a pretty cost-effective SaaS model.
If I may add one more thing, like Bruce said, I think the smart solution in the train is a light capital investment. Like a lot of people are doing investment is not heavy investment, capital investment anymore. It's light investment, particularly right now with the communication with AI, with cloud service available. So I think in Bruce's case, for example, we can set up a small gateway to collect all the data, but then everything could be done remotely to help the small business to analyze the data. I think the initial investment should be small. I don't know Bruce's business plan, but I think initially just purchase a gateway, which is not really expensive. But importantly is Bruce's company can help the SME to continue to analyze the data. So the SME only pay for the services when it's used, right? Just like you pay the utility bill, you pay the telephone bill, right? You don't pay for it when you pay like a minimum cost, but then you just pay for whatever you use, which will be really saving the money and the heavily investment from the SMEs.
The next question I see here, what smart solutions are easiest to integrate into an existing hospital, and which ones have the best dollars saved?
So far I know, there are two ways to adopt smart technologies. One is to, the hospitals make the procurement from external companies. The other way is they just hire we so-called data scientists or engineers to build the platform or technologies. Now the easy technologies use, I think, like image recognition. Those are, less expensive. So you don't actually have to purchase sensors or adopt, expensive technology. You just need to have, some coding stuff. And many hospitals have already done that, implement those, image recognition to like disease, for example, like cancers.
The next question we have here coming in is, didn't Google try FacePro solutions with Google Glass? Wasn't that really poorly received? How do we keep people's privacy when we have these cameras looking at people all the time?
Our vision is to bring value to our customer and partners, okay? So of course, the consideration of the policy for privacy. For example, okay, because we have doing many solution for Asia government like Singapore, Indonesia, and Yunnan, they all request a very serious, privacy, security for that solution. So we do have a policy to implement the privacy for that solution. Yeah, like we support the AES 255 GCM encryption. For example, okay, when we're doing a remote express solution, actually we don't recording your video on the cloud, but actually it's you storage all of your video in your PC, your window.
I see. So it's only streaming video and it doesn't actually save anything.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So talk about the first question, the digitalization cost for the SME. We do have a SaaS solution. Okay, we have a SaaS subscription service for the SME. So we have a cloud hosted around the world, supporting 14 languages. So that the expense, just like you pay the phone bill, the utility, it's very, very cost effective and competitive.
Yeah, it's great to hear that the cost scales with my usage.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question looks like, for an SME involved in manufacturing, if they're considering to adopt smart technology, what will be the first steps to initiate the integration with smart technology?
We do have lots of experience with small and medium enterprises. And the very first thing we suggest that is that you can do the power usage. You have to know what's the electricity you use. I think that's a very easiest one and a pretty simple one. You can have to do it. And then second, you can go to think about, oh, how can I get the data from the machine? How can I get the data from the environment, like the temperature, humidity, these kind of things. So I think this step by step.
I think before they can do what Bruce just say is, I think they just exempt their billing from energy, from lighting, from electricity, and also do an inventory of what kind of environment they have. And then they can, once they know their environment, like Bruce say, if their energy bill is very high, then just go to energy billing to monitor, to do this energy saving technology that can save your energy to collect the data. So you know exactly where and when your electricity energy being used, and you can analyze and to mitigate the consumption. That is the first very obvious saving for your business.
The next one here we have is, in places like the United States and Canada, administrative costs make up 34% of total healthcare expenditures. Are there different smart solutions to really cut back on administrative costs?
Actually, the system in Taiwan and the United States or Canada, they are different. But my recommendation is that they have to start from like the beginning, like the process, how they improve the process. Because if they just adopt smart technology without changing any process, then I believe the cost will still that high. They have to focus on the process first. Try to reduce like any waste. That's why we call it lean. Okay, they have to do lean to reduce any unnecessary process, unnecessary human labors, unnecessary waste, so that they can further adopt smart technology. If they can focus on process improvement, at least I believe they can reduce from 34% to maybe 20%.
Yeah, if I may to add to Mike what you say, basically when you have the new, not necessarily new technology, but digitalization, right? For example, in Taiwan, in the past, all the hospital or clinic, they use human being to write down all the clinical records, right? All saved individually. So they take a lot of labor to do that. And there's no communication between clinics and between hospitals. So everything need to repeat it, right? So you can think about how much cost, even in Taiwan, but you can say that in Canada and United States, particularly the labor costs are much, much higher. So whatever involve human being to do a work, that add on to the cost. So if we can streamline this kind of digitization to paperwork, to digital, and to make the data transferable, and that will first of all will save a lot of costs. That Taiwan is a perfect example. In the past, I understand that in the US, in similar to Taiwan in the beginning, the paperwork of the client or patient to transfer between clinic and hospital is almost impossible. Of course, privacy, one of the issue, but the other issue really is to protect your patient not to be grabbed by another hospital, right? But then gradually, Taiwan figure out to share the information as for the cost sharing, for the information sharing is more important. So that it really in Taiwan overcome that hurdle. So if that hurdle can be overcome, I think the whatever involve human being, that is administrative cost. So before we even involve AI, but I think we just digitize all the information to share the information, that will be tremendous cost saving.
Yeah, I can say like two more sentences. For example, in Taiwan, we already adopt like paperless technology, and it can be used in not only hospitals, also for insurance. Because for insurance, like medical insurance, you do have to get tons of paperwork. If we can reduce this waste and to make digitalization, I believe that administrative costs can be reduced.
And by the way, Taiwan,
and these digital things are not expensive.
Right, and by the way, Taiwan has achieved that by ways of digitize all the paperwork. Every information is streamlined to save a lot of administrative costs because it digitized and streamlined all the information.
Yeah, I was shocked when I came to Taipei and they have this little card. It's the size of a credit card. And on it is all of their medical records. So as James was saying earlier, if you walk into a new clinic, you don't have to start writing all of your medical history down. You just give them this little card and they can pull it right up on the computer. But thank you. I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for everybody for attending.